How do you break the ice? And what's the secret to small talk? Do you shy away from meeting new people because you're just not sure how to break the ice? And the thought of small talk scares the bejesus out of you? My name is Michael Ferrara, and I help entrepreneurs and network marketers build a business and a lifestyle that they truly love and enjoy by teaching them how to unlock their inner power. When it comes to meeting someone new or getting to know someone at a network meeting or anywhere in general out in the public, the toughest part is starting the conversation without being awkward or weird. Not knowing how to start a conversation is one of the biggest reasons why I think people avoid prospecting and tend to shy away from meeting new people altogether. So how do you start a conversation then? And I'm sure you've probably heard this before, so I'm going to say it again. The best way to start a conversation is to start it with a compliment. And I'm going to take this one step further. Not only do you want to give them a compliment, but you want to pair it with a question. For example, let's say someone's wearing a baseball hat and that cap has a certain team on it. And you walk up to him and you say, "Hey, that's a cool hat. How long you been a Bears fan," for example. This is also going to work at a networking event or even in a professional environment. You know, the other key to breaking the ice here is you want to look approachable. What I mean by that is you want to smile. You know, when you smile, you look approachable and more people are likely to talk to you. So when you're smiling and having a good time, or at least look like you're having a good time, people will want to talk to you. You don't want to be hanging out in the back corner looking like, you know, you're lost or you don't know what's going on or you're afraid to talk to anyone. So you want to smile. That's another big key that people will actually start conversations with you if you look approachable. In every episode, I like to make sure I give you a valuable resource. And in this episode, I want to give you my free resource, how to explode your income with these 5 money mindset hacks. And you can get this free resource by clicking the link above or below or on the side of this video, or going to my website, which is www.michaelaferrara.com, and you can get that free resource right now. And this free resource is definitely going to help you with that mind shift. Because when you start meeting new people and you start talking to new people, you want to have the right mindset to keep that conversation going along, right? Because if you have a positive mindset, positive things are going to happen. But if you have that negative mindset, negative things are happening. So make sure you go pick up that free resource right now. I know you'll get some valuable information out of it. Okay, so those are 2 quick ways that you can break the ice. So now the next step is, how do you keep that conversation going? Well, that's a great question, and I got no freaking idea. No, I'm just kidding. But the best way to keep a conversation going is to ask questions. And the key to asking questions is you generally want to be interested in that other person. Because believe it or not, people like to talk about themselves, right? And as an introverted person or someone that isn't extroverted, it's a lot easier to ask questions and just keep redirecting it back on them and let them do all the talking. One, they're really going to like you because people like to share. People like to express themselves. People want you to know them better and they want to share their story with you. So if you can ask the right questions, you know, you'll keep that conversation going. You won't be in the spotlight. You won't have to come up with all this awkward stuff to say because maybe you're not so comfortable sharing all that information. But if you're genuinely interested in that other person and you're asking good questions, you're going to keep that conversation going and that person's going to like you a lot more. And one last thing I want to add to this is when you ask that question, you don't want to be thinking about the next thing that you're going to say, right? You actually want to be listening to what they're saying and just take it in what they're saying, and by what they said, now you can lead them to the next question. You know, like, "Hey, tell me more about that. How did you do that? I'm very interested in that. Can you explain that a little more?" And one great question that you can ask is, you know, how did you get into that? Or why did you choose that? For example, you know, how did you get into insurance? Or why did you choose to go with that company? You know, people all have stories. They came from somewhere and they're going to want to share that with you. So you might as well just ask, let them do the talking again, and then take all the pressure off of you and just put it back on them, and everything will work a lot better, right? Now, one of my favorite questions to ask someone is, what is your favorite cheese? It's kind of funny, right? Seems a little weird, but here's why that question works. One, it's off the wall, it's different. Most people don't ask you what your favorite cheese is, right? Two, I absolutely love cheese. And by asking this question, the stories and the things that I've heard about cheese is just, it's awesome. You know, it's amazing where the conversation can go when you ask someone if what their favorite cheese is. So just try it out. Trust me, you'll get a laugh, and it'll really break that ice even more. It'll release that tension, and you'll probably get some good conversations out of that. So give that one a try. The whole point here is make it fun. You know, the more fun that you are and the more fun that you have, the easier it's going to be. More people are going to like you. You're not going to get that weird anxiety feeling. You're just going to naturally be having a good time. And when you have a good time, you're going to attract more people to you. And the good thing is you're going to attract more positive people to you, because if you're positive, you're going to attract positive, right? But if you're negative, grumpy, sad, I don't want to be here, guess what you're going to attract? You're going to attract the people that are grumpy, sad, and they don't want to be there, and they just want to bitch and moan about stuff. So have fun with it. Be open. Just have a good time. Be yourself. You know, it'll make everything so much easier. Now, if you're anything like me, breaking the ice is the hardest part. You know, but once that ice gets broken, the conversation seems to flow. Now, this doesn't always happen. You know, you might get that person that you just don't click with. You don't resonate with. You can't really take it any further. And with that, it's kind of hard to keep it going because your personalities just don't click. But once you get that ice broken and the conversation flowing, it just goes so much smoother. And again, the secret and the key here, especially for me, you know, being introverted, not so much extroverted, is the more generally I can be interested in that person, the better it is. The more I can keep that conversation going, because I'm just learning about them, you know, instead of me sharing so much about myself. So the more questions you can ask, I mean, you don't want to be an interrogator, you don't want to be a detective, but you want to generally be interesting. Like, that sounds really good. How did you do that? How did you get into that? You know, tell me more about that. So the more questions you can ask, just keep it moving along. So there you have it. A few tips to help you break the ice and how to master small talk. And now that you know how to break the ice and master the small talk, you want to make sure to go pick up my free resource so you can have the right mindset to keep everything going. Because like we said earlier, if you come into something with a positive mindset, you're going to get positive outcomes back out of it. But if you go into something with a negative mindset, you're going to get negative outcomes back out. So you want to have the right mindset. So go ahead, go pick up my free resource. So in every episode, I like to give out the question of the week. And the question of the week for this week is, what is your favorite go-to question? I'd love to hear it. Put it in the comments below and share it with everyone. I'd love to hear, you know, what is your favorite go-to question? Like mine, what is your favorite cheese, right? I'd love to hear it. So please comment below and share with us. So I appreciate you. I always, you know, I'm so grateful for you to tune in and check out our episodes here. So I look forward to catching you next week. We will be back here again as these episodes launch every Monday. And always remember to smile, as it looks good on you and it feels good, and it just makes everything so much better. So go out there, have an awesome day, and I will see you here next week. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.